can't wait. I can't wait to do what we're about to do.
Welcome to It Ain't Just Sports Podcast, your weekly huddle for all things sports and then some. Your hosts, Micah Bam Bam White and Amaya Mitchell, dive deep into the biggest games, the hottest takes, and the stories behind the headlines. Let's get into it.
What's up, and welcome to another week of It Ain't Just Sports here in the 12 on your side Skybox. I'm Amaya Mitchell.
What's up? I'm your boy, Micah, the Bam Bam White. Not comedian today.
I know every week is something new.
It's like, I started to do something new on purpose, but I was like, I'm just going to Micah the Bam Bam.
Yeah.
So what's going on? How was your Thanksgiving?
Pretty good. I was here working, so you might have saw me on your TV screen if you were watching. I hope you weren't. I hope you were spending time with your family, but if you were watching, I was here reporting. Yeah.
Okay,
but it was fun.
Chill. I chilled.
Yeah.
Like hard chill.
I can't blame you, honestly.
Like, hey, come over for dinner. Nah.
No.
I'm chilling.
When I got off work, that was me too. Because I needed the break. I was tired. And I don't, hot take, I don't like Thanksgiving food anyways.
Oh, wow.
So, it was perfect.
Wow. Okay, so what'd you eat for Thanksgiving?
I had Chinese food. Shout out whatever restaurant I went to. It was actually really good for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I can't complain. I had DoorDash.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What'd you have?
American wings.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, American. And I didn't even eat, sometimes your friends or whatever picks you a plate, and I haven't even eaten a Thanksgiving
literally.
plate, like nothing.
Yeah, I didn't really have
But at the same time, it's not like one of those sobs where like, I had nobody to be with. I preferred to just kind of be by myself, just kind of chill for a minute, kind of shut it down and, rejuvenate. I got 2 of the nights, I got 8 hours and then 10 hours of sleep.
Oh, wow.
I don't ever get to sleep that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm normally sleep at 2 a.m., up at 7 a.m.
Okay, so that's not too bad,
Yeah.
Yeah, but we got a lot to get into today. We're talking, college football. We're talking a little bit of things that we've went through and seen in sports. But before we get to that, we're both Steelers fans.
Right.
Did you watch the Steelers game yesterday against the Bills?
Grudgingly, I did watch the Steelers game.
You did?
Yeah.
Disappointed?
Of course I'm disappointed. We got our behinds kicked. And, and what's weird is I had this dual sort of energy going because on my fantasy, I needed to win this week to make it to the playoffs.
Oh.
And I had Josh Allen as my quarterback and Pittsburgh as my defense.
Womp womp.
So I needed the score to be like 55 to like 52 with the Steelers running 3 interceptions back for touchdowns. So it was a very imbalanced week. But at any rate, I wanted the Steelers to win.
Yeah.
And we looked bad.
Terrible. Literally, I think it was my cousin posted on Facebook. He was like, if you want to be disappointed every week, become a Steelers fan. And I was like, at this point, I will say, side note, not to cheat on the Steelers, but I'm also like low-key a Bills fan. Not a bandwagon. I just really when I lived in Charlottesville, I had a friend that was a huge Bills fan, and he would make me watch the Bills every week. And slowly I became a Josh Allen fan, and I like the Bills, and I like how I feel like they're a humbler team. So I like the Bills, and I like Bills fans.
You think the Bills are humble?
Yeah, compared to the Cowboys, the Eagles.
Oh yeah, well everybody compared to the Cowboys and the Eagles.
Yes,
I mean,
I like the Bills.
It's their fans. Well, the Eagles is not the team; it's the fans that are in the way.
Way too much.
The Cowboys, it's the team and the fans.
Both, all of it.
Yeah, from Jerry Jones to the person that just started becoming a Cowboys fan who don't know nothing about the Cowboys. For some reason, their ego is out.
Cowboys.
That's why I like 2 teams. I like Pittsburgh and whoever played the Cowboys.
Okay, yeah, me too.
My favorite 2 teams.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I despise the Cowboys, but I do like the Bills a little bit. So I wasn't mad that they won. However, I was disappointed by how poorly the Steelers played yesterday. And then literally, I feel for Mike Tomlin. He's just everybody's fire him, get him out of there. And he's just man,
again,
I'm trying.
Remember episode 1?
Yeah.
I said, let's put that to rest for people that are saying that, because for who? Who are we going to fire Mike Tomlin for?
Yeah.
Who are we going to get? I mean, and as soon as we fire him, within 3 minutes, he's going to be rehired. Even if a team isn't looking to fire their coach, if it came out Mike Tomlin was fired, they're going to be teams that fire their coach and they're going, hey, man, we're going to have to holler at you, Sean.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mike T coming through. So what we need is stability. We don't have stability. Pittsburgh is a very systematic team. For years, we've been systematic. We win with systems. And when you get the team, the key pieces fluctuating all the time, specifically the quarterback position, you can't get in sync within years to really tighten that thing up. So fire him for who? We need to get a quarterback. I keep saying that. We need to get a real quarterback. And if we don't have him in the stable right now, we need to either trade for somebody that has 10, 15 years of leg room in front of him, or we need to go into the draft next year. And I don't know if there's a strong quarterback draft next year.
Yeah.
Because this year there wasn't a strong quarterback draft. I know the big news was Shador.
Yeah.
But Shador, he's not coming out of college being a Super Bowl quarterback. You know, there are very few, and I don't know if we're going to have, but we got to get a system in place.
Yeah,
the quarterback position. Please, get us a quarterback.
I feel like Mike just as tired as us. Like, he's like, y'all want to fire me, but I'm sitting over here like, dang. I
doubt if the front office is even having we're going to fire you conversations with Mike Tomlin.
I doubt
I don't even think that's a conversation around the stadium or the locker room or anything like that. That's just the public persona and what the public does, because we want to fire everybody if they ain't doing what we want them to do.
I'm like, I don't really think he's a blame in this situation. You can only do so much with what you have on your roster. So
if anything, he's to be celebrated because we've done more with less. We've done more in the last 9 years with less. We haven't had any dominant team. So no fire Mike team.
Yes.
Hush.
Exactly. I agree.
But
speaking of that, there's been a lot to continue on the football lane.
Right.
If you watch, are you big in college football? Really? A little bit? Okay.
Yeah, my team lost this weekend.
I know. I saw.
I'm an Auburn fan.
Auburn? I thought you were from.
I'm from Birmingham, Alabama.
But you're not a Bama fan.
Oh, no. Oh. Lord Jesus, no. Oh, Father God, no.
I just assumed.
Get it out my face, Lord. No, not an Alabama fan at all. The thing, a lot of people say, well, the greatest rivalry is like Ohio State, Michigan, or some people would even say, whomever. There is no greater rivalry in college football than Alabama-Auburn. Anybody that's played at Alabama and Auburn or has experienced that will tell you there's no bigger rivalry. And when that dude, we were Auburn, we were on that game-tying drive, and we were moving the ball, and dude fumbles. And the fumble and then he gets up with his head in his helmet, hand in his head, whatever you want to call it, acting like he's limping. I'm like, man, just get off the field. Actually, you know what? Just go to the locker room and sit down, take your jersey off, and go home. Because in Auburn, he might not be there next year.
Yeah.
Because that's a big deal in Alabama. Like, dude, and it ain't totally his fault.
Yeah.
You know, there were bad plays before that moment, but that moment was a significant one. And he didn't even hold the ball like a college athlete. He held it like a pee-wee football guy. Like, come on, you know you're going to lose the ball.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm venting.
No, I'm like, literally, get it all out. Get it all out.
Yeah, so Auburn, Alabama, UVA, Tech.
Yes, that was a big one for me. If you're from Virginia, I mean, you know UVA Tech's like a pretty big rivalry.
Right.
And UVA pulled it out the bag, which is pretty good. And I will say props to the coach, Tony Elliott.
Yeah.
Because this was a pretty good season for him.
Very good season for UVA.
I think they finished 10-2 overall. And they're pretty, they're doing well. They're about to go to the championship next week in Charlotte, North Carolina.
And because they had, I remember the big win they had this year against Florida State.
Yes.
That was a real, like.
That's where people rush the field, right?
Yeah. Oh my God, the fastest rush I've ever seen in my life.
Yes.
But yes, that game let me know UVA might be real. And they are. They're real this year.
They have had a great season. And I honestly okay, if you look at it on the timeline, I feel like UVA, they kind of needed the season for football, because if you look at it, okay, so last year they had just overall in athletics, a lot of people were questioning AD Carla Williams, because you had Tony Bennett leave.
Right.
Then in the spring, Brian O'Connor for baseball, he left. So it's like you have these big name coaches, one after another leaving, and things are not looking too good. And then, you got Tony Elliott sticking in there, having a great season with football. And then we kind of touched on it last week, but then also too, and I think he mentioned in one of his post-game interviews or whatever, about they just recently, had the final sentencing for the UVA shooter and everything.
Right.
So just not to tie all three of those in, but just there's been a lot happening athletically at UVA.
Right.
And a lot of eyes on Carla Williams of do we need, at one point there were talks of, a lot of people wanted to fire her or look for a new AD. And then on top of that, like I said, the UVA shooting just happened, and not just happened, but the sentencing.
Right.
He's finally, that chapter's finally closing, and then coming off of all this momentum for football to come out and have a good season and end it it's not over, but close it out like this, I think it's been incredible. I think it's what UVA, like as a whole, students all needed. That kind of like camaraderie just to like, we're on top again. So I was really happy to see it.
Well, you know, the UVA Virginia Tech game, it gives me, there's trauma for me that is involved.
Oh, really?
In it. Yeah. Almost got locked up the night prior to a UVA Virginia Tech game at Virginia Tech.
How many years
I'll tell
ago?
you what happened. This was some, you funny. There you go, the old jokes, the sly shade, old jokes, old man jokes. This was, I don't know, this was probably 2009, 8 or 9. But what had happened was, so young lady that I coached in high school, Whitney Curtis, who's now my boss at Richmond Volleyball Club, she went to Virginia Tech. So her family would get me tickets to go to the game. So the night prior to, we would all hang out, we would go out. So one night we decided that we were gonna go and do shots at every bar that we could go do a shot at, right?
At UVA?
No, this is at Tech. So it's only 5 bars.
Yeah,
So you're doing a shot, then you're walking, you know, whatever, 7, 8 minutes, and you do another, you hang out. But anyway, around 2 o'clock in the morning, our buddy Brian Equi was the head manager for Virginia Tech. Brian, he's no longer there, so I can't get him fired. Because I don't think anybody knows this.
Yeah.
So 2 o'clock in the morning, we decide that we want to go and check out Virginia Tech Hall of Fame. So Brian takes us, after we do this shot trail, into the Hall of Fame building. We go and we're walking around, we're looking at different things. Then Brian goes, would you like to see the locker room? So we're like, yeah, I want to check out the locker room. So we go and we're in the locker room. I'm putting on helmets. There was a brother by the name of Mason Baggett, I believe that's his last name. He went to James River, which all these individuals I'm talking about went to. So we were just looking at his locker, and I put his helmet on. Then he was like, hey, you want to go see the football field? So we're like, yeah, we want to go see the football field. Come on, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So we do the walk down the football field, touch the Hokie Stones. Brian opens the gate. Police come from everywhere. And we're like, so I was the first one, when they opened the gate, I'm the first one on the field. Like, ooh, I want to see. As soon as I saw the police officer, let me step back and let y'all handle this. So Brian knew one of the officers. And she was like, you know, Brian, what are y'all doing? And he was like, oh, I'm just showing my friends the football field. She was like, well, you can't do it tonight. What had happened was, it was a UVA Tech game at Virginia Tech. Well, the year prior, some kids from Virginia Tech had gone to UVA and changed the logo in the middle of the field into a VT. So they thought the next year at Tech that there were going to be some kids from UVA to come back and retaliate, so they had security to watch the field that night. And we just happened to be the people they thought was coming to read.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What are the odds? And y'all probably, you said y'all had just went bar hopping and stuff, so y'all was...
Yeah.
Jeez.
So almost got locked up. Didn't do it. Just another great story that I can tell from Virginia Tech. So but that game does give me a little bit of trauma.
Yeah, I'm sure.
A little bit of trauma.
That's crazy.
But shout out to Virginia Tech, because they now have a new hire that I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with the program coming out of Penn State. But UVA right now, whether they win the ACC championship or not, I think they should really have their chest out because they had a phenomenal year.
They did a good job and beating all these like kind of big teams and everything. And I don't know, they're everything was pretty good this year.
And I had 3 good friends that were impactful players for UVA, and I know they're proud. My buddy James Ferrier, I'll talk about him later in the show. I got another story about that. But he played for the Pittsburgh Steelers, went to UVA from Matoka. My buddy Billy McMullen played for the Philadelphia Eagles. Actually, he just texted me because he'll be at Bad Thursdays on Thursday.
Okay.
He sings country now.
Oh, awesome.
And my buddy Billy Kemp Kemp III, he just finished at UVA. I think he was the all-time reception leader.
Got you.
And I think Billy Kemp is the all-time yards catch leader. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, it was a good win to watch. And then again, still on this college football stuff. Have you seen all the stuff with Kiffin and LSU?
The drama, man. This
everything.
Who is this guy?
Ole Miss, all that.
Who is this guy?
Yeah, I don't know. Literally, I've seen stuff. It's like he's fit to be a reality TV star because the drama surrounding this man is insane. Yes. I
mean, and a lot of his movement through college football came because USC coach was fired because he was at the Raiders. At the Raiders, had a horrible season at the Raiders, which just about every coach over the last 30 years has had a horrible season at the Raiders. Then he left the Raiders and then he went to USC. He went to USC. Well, he may have gone to Tennessee first, but he ended up at USC, and I think that was like the big hire. But then he went from there to Florida Atlantic University, from Florida Atlantic to somewhere else. Then he ends up at Ole Miss and changes that program.
Yeah.
Flips it, turns it around. And in the middle of a good season, when your team is headed to the college football playoffs, you announce that you're going to LSU?
And had the nerve to ask, can he still coach him through the playoffs? Of course not. Literally, why would you think, what in your right mind? I don't know. And then it like brings into question, like people are like, loyalty, whatever.
Loyalty.
Okay,
Right.
Kendrick. Like literally, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if you heard that like Keke Palmer thing. It's like, I did it for a check and you would do it too. Like, come on. Like, you only got so much loyalty when they put the money in front of your face. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Some people would like to say that they would like to be loyal compared to money.
I think sometimes two things can be true at the same time. You can still be loyal while at the same time, taking advantage of opportunities.
And being smart.
And being smart about it, right? Because if I know that my team is doing well, I know that these guys are here because they trusted me to be here. A lot of these guys can go get more NIL money, which we can talk about that with LSU, which is one of the great offers, part of the offer while Lane Kiffin left. But, keep it on the low until after the season's over with. Because you got seniors that's having the season of their life, and now all of a sudden it's chopped off at the head because of how you want to go and do something for yourself. That's selfish, man.
Yeah, and I don't even like, maybe I should look more into it and stuff, but I was just also curious. I'm like, I don't know, like if there would have been a way for him to wait to announce it or something, just so that way he could have gotten through the end of the season.
You sign your contract and say, yes, I'm coming, but also in it because the conversation has happened between the AD and him, right? So when it comes out, you can keep this confidential until the season's over with. Finish the season. Once the season's over with, then drop that you're gonna go.
Yeah, because
you don't have to do it right now. I mean, what's the point of doing it right now? You're not gonna. Yeah, come on, man, let it go.
No, that's what I kind of I was kind of thinking about this earlier, because obviously this is on a much smaller scale, but when Tony Bennett, stepped down from UVA, anybody in Charlottesville basically knew that Ryan Odom from VCU was going to be like #1 pick for the coach and that he was going to come here. It was like confirmed but not confirmed. And while there were talks, it was like nobody can confirm it. The moment that they had their last game of the season, it was announced shortly after.
Right.
But it was like they kind of waited until, so he finished out everything completely there, even though everybody pretty much already knew.
Right.
And then it was like, okay, but now it's like, it kind of leaves him in a weird spot.
And everything looks honorable when you do it that way.
Exactly.
The coach looks like he's honored his obligation with VCU. UVA doesn't look like, we're stealing your coach and we're the big bad. I mean, everything is honorable when you do it that way. Now, with all the drama that is going on with LSU, it's because LSU is like a drama pit right now. You fired Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
You tried to get him to make a deal out of being fired so you wouldn't have to owe him the $54 million. He's like, nah, I'm not making a deal. So you have to come out and say, okay, we fired him without cause. So you owe this guy $54 million. I mean, the idea, if I owe you $54 million, you're going to do something.
Yeah.
I'm not totally firing you. You're going to paint the stadium. You're going to do something. $54 million and you ain't got to do nothing for us anymore? That's wild to me. Then you bring Lane Kiffin in, and now he has an $84 million contract. So that's $138 million that you're paying two people out of your program, and one doesn't even have to work anymore. And we got kids that are hungry in America.
Yeah, I know.
Riddle me that. You know
I
what I mean?
know.
$138 million.
No, I can't even.
And we have homeless, hungry people in our country.
Yeah. No, don't even get me started on like college athletics and stuff like that and NIL and everything, because like literally that's like a rabbit hole I could talk about all day, because it's just like that's literally why Tony Bennett said he stepped down, is because it's like it's a difficult thing when it's changed. Like I said, could talk all day about it, but it's just changed college sports so much, and it's like nobody can top that. How much LSU is going to give him to basically recruit and put together, handpick a team? Like, why wouldn't he go there?
And it's so unfortunate when you think about this NIL aspect. It's so unfortunate for college kids. I mean, high school kids going into college, because these D1 colleges, they aren't really going to recruit high schoolers no more. They're looking in the portal. to find out who are the best athletes in the portal that already have college experience that are worth them spending money on.
Yeah.
The HBCUs, the mid-majors like an ODU, they're the ones now that's looking at high school seniors because these are kids that don't have any work experience as it pertains to the college level of sports. So it's just the balance of this NIL thing needs to be fixed somehow. It just needs, because it's out of control.
It is. And it's like, if you got the most money, I mean, I guess to a certain extent, maybe if a student really loved, a program, they would think about staying. But at the end of the day, like if I'm like a kid, like for instance, not all of, athletes obviously come from bad homes, but I'm saying if I was an athlete, I came from a bad home. My whole family is looking to me, depending on me or whatever. I want to provide for my family. I'm going to go wherever the money is. It doesn't even, it does matter because you want to be good, but it also is like, if you can take care of your family, still play the game that you love, it's not the ultimate deciding factor, but why wouldn't you?
I totally agree. Why wouldn't you? But I think there are some things that one has to consider. Number one, paying an 18, 19-year-old $1 million that they may only get for 2 or 3 years, because not everybody goes to the pro, to the next level, right?
Yeah.
So, like, there's a kid on VCU's team that I think he's making $900,000.
That's crazy.
And this is a mid-major program, basketball. So he's making $900,000. If he doesn't make it to the NBA, and he's got at this early in life, his life is accustomed to making $900,000. And then the season's over with, now he's back to the regular world, and he didn't do well with his money. That level of stress could really hurt somebody in the long run. It's like people that hit the lottery and then go broke.
Yes. So they say like people who hit the lottery are like some of the most depressed people, whatever, because it's like,
yeah, they get this taste of this lifestyle, and that opens their palate up to those type things. But then when they can't afford it anymore,
and when you're that young, like I'll be honest, like the way I manage my money, like 18, 19, even versus like I'm only a few years older, but it's different.
Right.
It's definitely different.
Yes. And my NIL, I give you what, not that I would have called it NIL, but I'll give you what I thought colleges should have done. This is Michael White's theory on what NIL should have been, or probably still should be or could be. I felt like all the money goes into a pot within that program. Every year that you play for that particular program, you accumulate a certain amount of money. If you graduate from the program, graduate from the school, upon graduation, you get this payout of a certain amount of money that was accumulated from your time at that school. If you leave early and go to the pro, you forfeit your money. You don't, because you're going to make big time money, right? So you forfeit your money. That way you reward the kids that stay in school, that is the only professional funds they're gonna make. Once they graduate, they get a payout over a period of like 10 to 15 years. That way you're not dropping a lump sum on them every year that they have to manage on their own. And because it's not so much the big time players that go to the pros that, I'm not gonna say don't deserve the money, but it's that third string player that was dedicated every day, showed up at practice. It's the reason that great player worked hard to be great, because they were able to practice with other people that were working their butt off. They get nothing in the end. So when that kid graduates, they didn't get the $900,000 NIL money. If they got any NIL money at all, it was so minute compared to that person. So that's what I thought.
Not a bad idea. That way it's incentive for, like you said, if people don't go pro, it's incentive to graduate. It's also incentive to like stay in the program.
Stay in the program, that part.
Yes, because that's how you build, like, that's what I do miss about like basketball a couple years ago, specifically college basketball, of course, but it's different building, like, unless you do have the top program where you can continue to play people, you don't build like teams like you used to, where it's like, you got this starting five with this coach that play year after year, and they're like, have a crazy dynamic, because it's like everybody's switching so much and so often.
And it's hard to build culture like that.
Yeah.
It's hard to build culture.
It's hard. Yeah. No, I completely agree. That's crazy. I could talk about
$138 million being paid to two people, and people are still hungry.
Do you know what I would?
I can't.
Do you know what I would do with Do you know what I would do with $130 million? They need to start sharing. It's like,
But this the world we live in, this
know.
country that we live in. Hey, some people just
Somebody gotta be
believe
rich,
that
yeah.
what you make is yours, and
Yeah.
nobody else have anything to say about it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's true. Maybe they have a point, but
Yeah.
I don't know why people still hungry. I
Yeah.
don't know. I'll get
Yeah.
off that horse. I'll get off that
Right.
horse. So a personal story. Let's talk about. So I shared like my moment. What's like a moment you've had in sports that's like really, Amaya? Like what's one of those stories?
Yeah, well, okay, thinking back, I don't even want to go back to my high school days because that's just too many, too much, too crazy. More recently, though, a good one that I feel like really kind of fits what we've been talking about is, so last year, I'm a huge March Madness fan.
Okay.
My mom's family is actually from San Antonio, Texas.
Okay.
So when I heard that they were going to have the finals at the Final Four at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, right around the Riverwalk, I texted my grandpa because he works there or whatever, and I was like, "Can you give me tickets?" He got me tickets. So I went to the Final Four last year. I literally got off of work, flew to San Antonio. I remember watching, I think it was Florida beat Duke, which I really wanted Duke to win, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But Duke lost, so then you have Florida and Houston in the championship game on, I think it was Monday night. And I remember that game, because obviously, like, we're in San Antonio, Texas. Everybody from Houston, Florida fans are crazy, but you're already in Texas. You have everybody from San Antonio not only cheering for Houston, you have everybody from Houston who drove to San Antonio. So it's like crazy. There's red everywhere, So it was a good game. Everybody's getting intense. I mean, it's a good back and forth. Like, they're neck and neck and neck. Well, Houston led for a while, and then obviously they gave that lead up towards the end. And they get to the final few seconds. And Florida's up by 2, and they pass. Emmanuel Sharp, I mean, if you watched him in March Madness, he was on fire, killing it, 3 after 3. Like, I love to watch him play. They pass him the ball. It looks like he tries a pump fake, drops the ball.
Right.
And he can't touch it again. Nobody touches it. And literally, he just and it's so crazy to witness it in person when I tell you, and then everybody's like, oh my God. And he literally just drops to the floor in fetal position. And he stays there. Even after the cameras go off him, he stays in that fetal position for a good while. Like, people are trying to get him up off the floor. Because it's just he just lost, which he was only a sophomore, I think, at the time.
Yeah.
So it's he's got a couple more years to play. And he's a really good player to be just sophomore. But he, when you're that close to you were this close to winning March Madness, and just by a little fluke, you know what I mean? Because he could have pulled it and made it. I have no doubt in my mind. He lost it, and then when I tell you that was just to witness that, and that was a different type of upset for me, because after Duke got cut out, I'm sorry, I don't like Florida. So I was I can't cheer for Florida, so I had to cheer for Houston. And like I said, I personally like Emmanuel Sharp, so I was really rooting for that team. And then to see the atmosphere and stuff.
To be in that space.
Oh, it was crazy. I mean, people were arguing, people were cussing each other out. There was a grown man crying because a Florida fan started yelling in his face. And he's like, we should have won. Then he starts crying. The police get involved. I don't know. I walked out of there. Yeah.
That's so unfortunate for Emmanuel, because he has to keep his head high, because he was the reason that they even got that far.
Yeah.
A big part of it. Not the only, but a big part of the reason.
Amazing. Yeah.
But to have a moment like that.
No, it was crazy.
I'd rather miss the shot.
Yes.
And just be like, oh man, I missed the shot.
Purely an accident. Especially in basketball, to be one of the greats, you gotta have great, handle on the ball. It was just a quick slip. Emotions are high, and to literally it's in your hands. The ball, they're pass the ball to Emmanuel. He's gonna get it up. We're gonna win the game. And to met the one moment, it feels like yes, it was crazy in that stadium. Literally, when I tell you, I was like, oh my God, literally, I was so disappointed. And Florida fans just acting a fool.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, and if he would have hit the shot, it would have been the other way around. Houston fans would have lost their daggone mind.
I would have been losing my mind, because I was ready to go down to the Riverwalk and go to the parade. And then once it was Florida, I was like, I'm not going. So I just went home.
Shout out to the Riverwalk in San Antonio.
Yes.
I've been there several times.
Yeah.
I love that space. Well, my story, it's not as it's more self-deprecating than anything. So my buddy James Ferry, who I talked about earlier, played for UVA, played for the New York Jets, was drafted first round by the Jets, then went and played for the Pittsburgh Steelers for 11 years.
Oh, wow, yeah.
He had a 15-year career. So his first year in Pittsburgh is when I met him. So I started going to games, stay at his house. I would meet the players, start hanging out with the players. So anytime after a game, we would all go out. There was this particular bar named Chauncey's that we would hang out after the games if they had a 1 o'clock game. Chauncey's was the spot. So all the players, they would have the VIPs locked off for them. So when I started hanging with the players, my game, when I'm trying to meet the ladies, right, my game used to be, I'm here with the Pittsburgh Steelers. After a year doing that, I found something out. Once you tell a lady that you're not a Steeler, but you're with the Steelers, they don't want you no more.
Like, I don't know why you thought that would work.
They want to use you to get to them, right? So
let me meet your friends.
Right, yes, exactly. So I stopped doing that, right? So one year I was like, man, this beautiful woman. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to say something. And just, I don't know what got into me, but it was a night, day game. We're hanging out that night. Around 10 o'clock, we're at the bar, just got there, meet this lady. And she's like, so do you play NFL ball? I said, yeah, I play NFL ball. The lies I tell.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But the Lord I serve will get some more. He'll catch up with you soon. So I'm like, yeah, I play football. She was like, you play for the Steelers? Now, I'm smart enough to know that I can't say I play for the Steelers because everybody in Pittsburgh knows everybody that's on the team. So I'm like, no, I don't play for the Steelers. She said, who do you play for? No, she said, what position you play? I said, well, I'm a kicker. I mean, you can look at me and tell I can't do nothing else. But yeah, so I'm like, I'm a kicker. She's like, okay. She said, well, who you play for? I said, I play for the Minnesota Vikings. She said, let me get this straight. You are the kicker for the Minnesota Vikings. I said, yeah, babe. Yeah, I'm the kicker for the Minnesota Vikings. She said, well, I got one question. I was like, what's up? She points at the television. She goes, why are you in at your game right now?
Got him.
I said, I'm hurt. I started limping around the bar. I'm hurt. But yeah, that's my story.
Safe to say you went home by yourself that night.
Yeah. And once again, here you are. I brought another one, fellas.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my story. That's my Pittsburgh story. One of my many.
I don't even know why you tried that.
I don't. It's the enemy. The enemy just tried to take me to where I didn't belong.
Okay.
Yeah. And she pointed at the television. As soon as I looked at the TV, I was like, oh,
that's funny.
Like, this ain't good.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah, but it made for a good story. Maybe that's why I said it.
Yeah.
It made for a good story. Yeah. So the last thing I want to talk to you about, one of the cool things about this dynamic. Your generation, my generation, two totally different generations, right? Are you convinced, or what is your opinion on sports athletes today versus during my generation? And what I'm asking is, do you think y'all are soft in comparison to who we were coming up as athletes? Because I came up as an athlete in the late 80s, early 90s, that type of coaching. You came up in the 2000s. Different scenarios.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, it's like if somebody yells at your kid, now my parent, not my parent, but somebody else's parent, going to cuss the coach right back out. You're not going to talk to my son that way. I'm finna go to the school board, blah, blah, blah. Even like on like a national level, I feel like coaches now would choke slam a player out and cuss him out and kick him. You know what I mean? Like
they not choke slam, cuss him out and kick him. My God.
They're not aggressive like that anymore. But I feel like, that's a good question.
I think.
What do you not?
So I've coached this generation of kids.
Did you? And you've seen what it was like.
Played.
Okay.
I definitely think that this generation is softer.
But hey. But is it necessarily a bad thing? Okay, think about it. Y'all would play till y'all was blue in the face, couldn't play no more, injured, limping around. Now y'all 50 and don't nothing work the way it's supposed to. Because
my knees work, baby.
Exactly. Because y'all was beat and bruised as athletes growing up. And now we're getting more money, less injuries, hopefully. I don't know. We would have to look at that. I'm going to just say less injuries. and probably mentally better and stuff like that?
I think it depends on, so for me, I was raised, as I've always alluded to, I was raised in the hood, right? So I'm raised in a very low-income neighborhood. My basketball team in high school, I particularly talk about my basketball team. We were very good. We were ranked in the nation. So you got these kids from the streets, from the gutter, you know, that's thriving nationally in this sport. Well, why? Our coaches, Coach Scott, shout out to Scott, Robert Scott, Coach McGarry, those particular coaches, Coach Gardner, Coach Holyfield, they didn't let us slide with anything. There was no getting away with nothing. They stayed on top of us. Getting cussed out, that was normal. I mean, getting paddled, that was normal. A timeout where the whole team gathers around and your coach would punch you in your chest over and over again during the game.
Oh no.
That was normal. And but the thing about that was not only did they know how to tear us down, more importantly, they knew how to build us up. So while one would think, well, the mental issues and the mental health situations that they caused for y'all, our environment created a mental health issue. They were beating us, or should I say pushing us out of that particular thing. Now, did they do anything that permanently, as it pertains to, you know, being physical, that permanently hurt us? No, nothing permanently hurt us. But it allowed us to let us know that the world is going to beat you worse than I'm beating you now. So all of you aren't going to go to college and play sports. All of you aren't going to go to the pros to play sports. So if I could just work with you right now to make you a better person, make you more accountable on yourself, make you look at what team development and team building is like, help you become a leader, then this is the way that I got to do it for that environment. Could it have been done differently? I don't know, maybe, but with the way they did it worked. Most of the guys I played basketball with in high school and baseball with in high school are model citizens today. I can go back and high-five most of them that have families and things of that nature. If you didn't play sports, a lot of my friends, they didn't make it because of the environment we were in. So it took hardcore coaching, hardcore discipline to help us become better than the environment that we were being born and raised in. So I was down with sports. Now, I go and coach in a different environment. I coached high school at James River High School. I would have never thought to cuss at any of my players. I would have never thought to yell at any of my players. Not because I didn't want to at times, but I knew this environment isn't going to allow me to be that way. So now I got to find a different way to coach. I got to find a different way to hold you accountable. I got to find a different way to help you develop and become not just a great volleyball player, but even more better person. You know. And now I went back to coaching, and so discipline was everything when I was coming up.
Yeah.
Two quick instances. I'm coaching at James River. I had a rule. If you are caught at a party where there's alcohol, immediately, and you don't leave, immediately you're off the team.
Did you ever have people get caught? How would you get caught?
So
people snitching, or?
It wasn't even really people snitching. I'll tell you what happened. One year I'm on the phone with my captain. I'm at study hall with my JV program, because before practice I would always do study hall with JV and for some varsity players that needed study hall. So I'm at study hall, my captain's on it, we were talking about what practice is going to be like. That year we were 18-0 in the district. So we had not lost a game in the district. And we had one more district game against Cosby. While I'm on the phone, she clicks over, it was the other captain, she clicks back over, she's like, Micah, the other captain's crying, we need to come talk to you. So they come up to the school, they talk to me. I'm looking at both of them, they are like upset. 6 of my players was at a party that weekend where there was obvious alcohol because there was a pitcher with one of my players holding a beer can.
Oh.
So now we got, I think at that point, 2 more games left against Godwin and against Cosby. We need to beat Cosby in order to win the outright district championship. Cosby only had 1 district loss, that was to us. So my players are like, Coach, you can't kick us off the team. Like, you know, come on, man, come on. And I'm like, I'm not kicking you off the team.
You kicked yourself?
You kicked yourself off the team. You knew what the rules were. And I think sometimes in certain environments, people think leniency or I should just get away with things, but I wasn't raised that way. And I'm not going to coach you in a way to where if I say something, then you do it, and I don't do what I say I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Now
They can do it again.
Now they can do it again. So I kicked all of them off the team.
Wow.
5 of them were starters. Wow. So, but I did set a way up for them to get back on the team. So they were off for 2 weeks. First week was no connection with the team at all. Second week, they had to do things like write an essay about underage drinking. They had to do a underage drinking campaign in the school. They had to meet with the resource officer. They had to do some community service hours around the school that they could do together during school hours. So I had set it up to where they could get back on the team. While they had left, I told the rest of the players, if they don't make it back on the team, it's y'all's fault. You know, because y'all have to wrap your arms around them to let them know they're still a part of this team, but they need to be held accountable for what they did. So I put these sophomore and freshmen in the game. We ended up playing Godwin. We lost. We played Cosby, and we played pretty well with the young kids that I had. We ended up losing. We had to share the district championship. Long story short, one of those players ended up going to CNU, Christopher Newport University, to play volleyball. When she gets to CNU, she gets put in the CNU Hall of Fame. Her name is Jessie Heverich. And while she's doing her Hall of Fame speech, in her speech, she thanks me, but particularly she thanked me for that discipline. Because it was a significant moment that taught her self-accountability and taught her that her actions are bigger than just what it does to her, but how it can affect an entire team. That is a leadership moment. So you just have to find, I will say softer, but I won't say that our younger athletes from today or your generation aren't getting the discipline if they still have a good coach like we did back in the day. It's just you have to do it differently.
Yeah, but I mean, could y'all have dealt with social media, I guess? Because that's another thing that I feel like you say we're softer, but y'all don't have 50 million people on the internet telling you you're ugly, you're fat, you're stupid, you need to quit. You know, you literally are worthless. You're the worst player ever. Ready, if they see you on the street, you lost the last game. Now they're ready to beat you up. They ain't never met you in their life, but they saw you lose their last game. You messed up their parlay, and now they're ready to fight you.
No, we didn't have social media because we had people in our face that told us that. But I hear what you're saying. It's that like, outside pressure is much different. I agree.
Yes, because I feel like you have like literally it's surrounding you, and like no athlete, everybody's gonna be on social media,
right?
And you're gonna see it, and so it's like almost impossible. Even to like what's his name? Kiffin.
Right.
He literally has had like extra security and stuff because people are gonna threaten him online now. Whereas like, okay, back in the day, people could make threats, but nobody's gonna call your personal phone and tell you like, you loser, I'm gonna come kill you. Like,
right.
Now people can get on the internet so fast and threaten you, threaten your family, threaten everything around you. Literally tell you like I said, you suck, they hate you, which is like,
right.
After a while, that can be kind of hard.
It is. Well, yeah, having more access to your mental being through social media. Also, anybody can find your cell phone number out these days. If people dig enough, they can find a way to call you. Back then, you could only call me at the house. Yeah. So you had to have my home
that
number.
Line number.
Right.
Yeah.
So I agree that the mental aspect of athletes today, it is totally different. And as we talked about years, a couple of episodes ago, you got the congratulators, you got the congratulhators. I threw that back in there. Yeah. So we got the congratulhators, and those are the people that, you know, are your bullies, and they're the ones that normally speak more often than the ones that are giving the high fives.
Yeah.
So it is different, but I still think
softer is crazy.
My first day, first week of school, I'm in the band. And the football,
what'd you play?
I played trumpet.
Okay.
My first instrument was trumpet. I ended up in the end playing tuba.
I played the sousaphone.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
okay. So I had a band scholarship to Alabama A&M to play the tuba. Yeah, I didn't take it, but I had a scholarship offer to play the tuba for Alabama A&M. So I was a pretty good musician. You know, that's why I have a band now, doing the stuff that I do now. But my first week of school, I'll never forget it. I'm walking through the hallway, and this Coach McGarry. Coach McGarry is about 6'2", muscle-built dude, light-skinned, pretty curly head, pretty boy, old Kappa from Alabama A&M.
Okay.
And but he talked real soft like this.
Yeah.
So he sees me. He goes, "Come here, young man. Come here." He goes, "What's your name?" I said, "My name Michael White," and I'm old skinny 6'2" kid. Michael White. Why haven't I seen you on the football field? I said, "Well, I'm in the band." He was like, the band. I can't say every word that he said.
Yeah.
But I'll allude to him. He goes, explicitive, White, you in the band. He said, you about 6'2", 185 pounds, and you want to blow a trumpet? He said, you ain't nothing but a big, crossed his arms, turned his back to me, turned back and looked at me and said a word. A word that a grown person should never say to another grown person, better yet to a kid, and walked off. And I'm standing in the middle of the hallway like, I'm standing in band rehearsal that practice that day looking at my trumpet like this, I don't want this.
Rethinking your whole life.
But that was how my school was. That's the way that we were spoken to. That was the way that we were taught to develop. But again, Coach McGarry, my whole 4 years in high school is one of the significant guys that helped me become the man that I am today. So again, it wasn't just tearing you down. It was taking some dead weight off of you and adding life to you. It was just done in a way that was a little bit more brass than
aggressive.
Yeah, very aggressive.
Hateful, not hate behind it, but
not hate behind it, but
yeah. Because I wish, even like now too, I see my little sisters being coached versus when I was like, even it was kind of coming out of that because I'm like kind of like the first generation with like fully social media or whatever.
Right.
So even like when I was a kid and I used to play sports and stuff, I mean, we would quite literally, especially when I was big into softball, we would practice for hours to the point to where I'd be like throwing up, like passing out, and stuff like that. But even like now, like they don't do stuff like that. Like it's like, oh, everybody get your little cool towel. Let's take a water break. They'd be like, no, you want a water break? Do some push-ups. Like, so.
It's, and I've never been an advocate for kids playing hurt. I never forget I had a player who ended up going to UVA to play volleyball. Shout out to AJ. AJ Cushman, she goes to UVA to play volleyball, but she was playing club ball, and she had already received her offer, had made her commitment to UVA. I go to a game that she was playing with her juniors program, her senior year, and I'm watching her pass, and she can't stand on both legs. She's trying to pass on one foot because she had an ankle problem. And I'm sitting here watching her, and I'm like, AJ, why are you out there? And I'm looking at the coach, like, why do you have her out here? So it was, she has to toughen it up. So I called AJ's mom and was like, yo, you need to call and get AJ off of this court because she has no business. She already got an offer. So she's playing for no reason, and she ends up getting more injured to where she can't get right. For what? It was all for naught. AJ probably got a little bit upset with me because I was like, you got to get off the court. But I feel like it was the best thing. So I'm not one of those advocates to just push a kid to the end till they can't go no more.
That's what they like to do back then.
It is. No, it is.
You passing out, you everything. I remember I used to go to my uncle. He coached football, and I would go to his practices and stuff like that. And it would be like literally like 100-degree weather. And basically they would do this thing where they would run around the track. Then they would run up the first side of bleachers. They would have to backpedal down the second one, bear crawl up the third one, then run another lap. And if they complain, do it again. They're dying.
Let's go.
They're literally dying.
It's mind over matter, baby. It's mind.
No.
You don't know how strong you are until you get past that third win. The first win is the second win is when you think you're cruising. That third win, you're struggling. What can you do after that third win?
I don't think I need to find out sometimes.
But that's where the strength is.
I guess.
Muhammad Ali, somebody asked Muhammad Ali one day, how many push-ups can you do? He said 9. And the person was like, 9? Like, there's no way. You're the heavyweight champion of the world. What do you mean you can only do 9? Because he said, the push-ups that are easy, I don't count. I only count the push-ups to when I tell myself I can't do any more. How many can I do after I tell myself I can't do any more?
Yeah.
Those are the ones that count. So you don't know. You don't know. And your mind will tell you, now we can't do it no more. But your body's like, no, I still got a little bit left.
A little bit. Barely. Running on fumes.
But you got to know where that line is, too.
Exactly.
You got to know where the line is.
Yes.
It's a good episode.
Yeah, I said let's go ahead and wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up.
All right. Yeah, so every week we're dropping on Tuesdays. Go check us out on 12onyourside.com/podcast, as well as on social media. Look for the handle It Ain't Just Sports. Yep. And we want to see more engagement from you guys. Really just like, comment, share, and especially heavy on the comments. I want to hear what you guys like each episode, what you want to see more of, or if you don't like some of our hot takes, let us know in the comments and we'll start addressing those.
And one thing you can leave in the comments that I'd like to know, are athletes today softer than the athletes of my generation? Are they softer or no? Let us know.
They're
I also
not.
want to shout out Jessica Redwood, Leah Todd,
Yes,
David Hilton,
yes.
all the people in the background that's
They do a
making
great
this
job.
pop off and do what it do. Y'all see us, but it's some magic behind the scenes.
Lots that goes in. Yep.
Yeah, follow me at Comedian Bam, COMEDIANBAMM.
And then Amaya Mitchell TV on Instagram.
That's the end of episode 4 of It Ain't Just Sports. We out.